Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Mark Parham podcast. You can follow me on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, and I should pop up. Just type in Mark Parham podcast. So, I was looking at the game between UCLA and South Carolina, the women's basketball for college. And the amazing thing to me is that, well, it's not amazing, but the weird thing to me is how did South Carolina beat UConn, an undefeated team at the time with Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd? Like, how did they beat that team, but then lose the way they did to UCLA? Now, um, I'm not saying UCLA had no, chance to win that game, the national championship game, but it's just like South Carolina it almost looked like they didn't even, like they stopped trying to win. I mean, it'd been one thing if the game was close, but it got to the point where South Carolina looked like they were just intimidated or something. And it's amazing to me that all that happened with UCLA, but with UConn, they came out ready to play and they were actually trying and you know were just basically going out there and giving it their best effort to win. And the UCLA game was like totally different. And still, people forget UCLA, women's college basketball, the team this year was a very good team. I think they only had like one loss. And so everybody acts like, oh, well, it's shocking that that team won. No, they had a bunch of seniors. I think they had one loss. And UCLA was a good team. The UCLA that was assembled with Kiki Rice and Lauren Betts and those other people, they were, seniors, experienced. They were a good team. But South Carolina looked like they were just intimidated. Like you would think that it was their first time playing basketball for some of those people, the way they were playing. And so, I think that maybe Dawn, the coach of that team, needs to, maybe when it gets around, national championship time, where maybe they take it more seriously. I don't know. But it's just like this keeps on happening where, they get to the national championship game and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happens. And so, maybe they think they're going to win. Maybe South Carolina gets really, confident and thinks, since we've won all these other games, this will be easy. But, when they get to the national championship game next time, if they do, then they're really going to have to switch their strategy up. Because could you imagine if South Carolina women's college basketball team gets to another national championship game in 2027 and then the same thing happens? Like this, it will be like catastrophic. And maybe when it comes to these type of games, maybe Dawn needs to really like get really serious and let people know that play for the team how important the game is. Because it's just, I'm just still amazed that they won against UConn the way they did. But when it came to UCLA, I mean, they were playing very soft. I mean, they were missing open like shots that they could have made. And I think it was somebody commented that they were some of the players were missing layups and stuff like that. I mean, whatever. But it's just like I expected more effort when they were playing against UCLA, especially knowing that you're all the way at the end of the road and you could possibly win a national title again. And so, I hope that South Carolina gets it together and understands the importance of national championship games. Because, I mean, to sit up and get that far into, the season to just basically play like, you're intimidated or afraid it's insane to me. Like, one thing I'll say about when South Carolina had, what's her name, Camila Cardozo. I might be pronouncing her name wrong, but that girl, I mean, that woman, she came out to play. Like, say what you want. She was aggressive. She was just somebody who was willing to do anything to win. And they need to find somebody like that. Like, they need to find somebody that's like, you know what? I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to be as mean as a junkyard dog to win. And I miss those days when South Carolina had Camilla. Like if Camilla were on this team, if you had another clone of her, then the game might have been totally different. It would have been somebody who could give Lauren Betts some competition. But South Carolina needs to start taking these championship games seriously and then also being more aggressive. Like just the whole, I'm going to sit back and take jump shots and, not get rebounds and stuff. Like they really need to get aggressive and really take these championship games like, this might be our last time to win. They need to like take it with that type of seriousness. And so, I know Chloe Kitts was injured and stuff and she couldn't play, but I think that the game with UCLA, even if Chloe Kitts was in that game, I think that the outcome would still be the same. Like, again, not UConn, South Carolina has a lot of good players, but they don't have that intensity that they used to have back in, a few years ago. Like they need a person that's going to set the pace, like a Camilla type personality. That's like, I'm going to win regardless of what I have to do. And they don't have that. They have good players, but it's just like they have folks that, even when they lost, I mean, it's almost like one of those things where it's like, oh, well, you know what? Hey, whatever. And they need people on the team that actually take winning and losing seriously. Like even I was looking at the post game interviews and stuff. They still were just like, whatever. They had a sort of a whatever attitude. You didn't really see any hardcore emotions like, oh, you know what? This will never happen again. It was more like, oh, okay, well, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. And so they just need some folks in there that, like I said, hopefully Dawn Stanley picks up the pace with her players playing defense. And also some of the players need to work on their jump shots because, I mean, when you get to a national championship game and you're playing against a team like a UCLA caliber team, you really need to make, your jump shots and stuff like that, and also know how to make layups and be prepared for the moment. So that's just, how I feel. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. And, let me know, like, how, in your opinion, how did South Carolina beat UConn but then lose to UCLA? Like, again, what's your opinion on both of those games? Thank you.